name's Kelly Forbes, Senior Mental Health Practitioner with Southern GP Federation, and today I'm talking about lifestyle and mood. Now, before I talk about this, it comes with a bit of a caveat, because if your world is feeling like it's absolutely collapsing and nothing's going right and you're really struggling with your mood and your well-being, you can perhaps go and speak to somebody in the GP surgery and they say something like, "Have you tried going for a walk?" And it can feel like the most unhelpful thing in the world at that point. And you might be thinking, of course I've tried all of those things, or that just does not feel possible to me at this point. Whenever we look at the lifestyle changes with mood, I view this as a really good foundation. So it's not about saying this is the only way to manage your mood, but I look at it like you're building a house. You need a solid foundation, which is what all of the lifestyle changes are, and then you're in really good shape to build other treatment if you've got a really good foundation. So let me talk through some of these. Green and blue areas, green and blue spaces. So by that, I mean your forests, your seas, your woods, lakes, any of those areas. So we as human beings are not designed to be in buildings that have artificial lighting and that the heating is controlled for us. All the research is showing us from brain studies that it actually causes a bit of stress for us to be in such an artificial environment. Our body calms and gets far more connected when we're outside in much more of our natural environment. We are designed to feel the wind in our hair. That's where the nervous system is most happy. The next one is about diet. So with diet, let me take something like, most people have heard about the hormone and neurotransmitter serotonin, which is really key for regulating mood. It's known as like the happy hormone. Serotonin needs a huge variety of vitamins and minerals for it to be produced. And vitamins and minerals, the majority of them we get from our diet. The body can't produce them. So whenever we look at diet, there is a continuum. We have unprocessed foods, and that would be, if you look at the food, it's clear the origin of it. I look at an apple, it's an apple. I look at a carrot, it's a carrot. Nothing's been done to it in its pure form. The next level is where food becomes a bit more processed. So bread, for example, grains are processed to make bread. Milk is pasteurized to make it safer. And then you've got the other end, which is your highly processed food. And I really want to read this because it feels important. Highly processed food, ultra processed food, is an industrial formulation with 5 or more additives that imitate real food. So what we're taking from that is there isn't any vitamins and minerals in that. And this is our sweets, sweetened drinks, our crisps, our cake, our pastries, our pizzas, our crisps, all of that food. So a really important lifestyle change to naturally boost your happy hormones is get as much unprocessed food into your diet. The NHS website has a load of information on this, so if you want more, just Google NHS and diet. The next one here is caffeine. Caffeine does boost our energy, absolutely. It can also increase our anxiety. It can make us jittery. It can lead to kind of more worrying thoughts, and especially as we go into the later half of the day towards the evening, it can not allow us to go to sleep because caffeine is a stimulant. So when you have that crossover of going into nighttime, if you've got too much caffeine in your system, it can lead to poorer sleep. So a key lifestyle change would be, if that is something that's going on for you, to reduce your caffeine intake from lunchtime onwards. Now, if you're somebody that drinks caffeine all day, every day, do not go cold turkey on it. You'll get quite bad withdrawal symptoms, headaches, that type of thing. So if your last cup of caffeinated tea or coffee is at 8 o'clock, the next day go for 6, and then and gradually work your way back to 12. Phone use, flip me. I feel like this is a big one, phone use, and it's getting talked about a lot. The phrase that I want to say is, think about your relationship with your phone and your relationship with social media. So as a baseline, the increase in smartphones has led to, all the research is showing us, people are more anxious, more depressed and more lonely the higher amount of phone use they have. Now, some phone use can be helpful. It can keep us connected with other people. It can help us research things that are really interesting for us. It's not all bad. The thing to know is that a lot of the apps are addictive, so they're designed to keep you hooked. A lot of the algorithms will follow and link into things. So for example, if you hover over a video that's about, I don't know, a bit of humor about somebody feeling sad, then suddenly your feed is going to be filling up with more of that, which I don't think will improve mood. The other part of this is how contactable we are. We are contactable 24/7 now. So how does that feel, knowing that phone needs to be within reach and it's pinging? So again, do we need to think about putting restraints around our phone use? The next one here is alcohol and substances. So alcohol and substances will increase feel-good hormones artificially. So dopamine, serotonin will all be increased in the short term. The long-term use of alcohol substances to manage mood have, the research is very clear. It will cause a drop in mood long term. So it's absolutely something to look at if you're using substances. Exercise. Best bang for buck in terms of increasing dopamine, endorphins, serotonin. The research is showing us that for mild to moderate mood issues, exercise is as effective as medication. Sunlight. So getting sunlight into your day will boost your vitamin D, and it will boost your serotonin. Again, all natural ways of regulating your mood. Sunlight also helps regulate our wake-sleep cycle. So, for example, people who work night shifts, so they're sleeping during the day, in the daylight hours, they're working at night, research is showing us that their mood tends to be lower than the general population, purely because they're not getting their sunlight. So, get out once a day, even for 10 minutes, up to 30 once daily. And the NHS guidelines are for us to be taking a vitamin D supplement across those winter months. So when the clocks go back from the October through to March, guidance is to take the vitamin D daily. Talk to someone you trust. So we know keeping things bottled up is not helpful for mood. We need people around us that can hear that for us. It can be it doesn't have to be a professional. It can be friends. It can be family. And thinking about the right people around you, people that are kind and compassionate, but will probably say, what can we do to help push you forward and help make things better for you? Learn to understand and manage your feelings. So how were feelings in your house growing up? Was it, people should be seen and not heard, big boys don't cry, it was the message to keep feelings in. Feelings are messages to us about our life. So if I'm going about my day-to-day life and I've got too much demand, maybe in my work day, my body will start to feel stressed. I need to listen to that, because if I override that, my emotional responses will get bigger. If you try and suppress emotions, you might as well be trying to stop the tide. They will come through in other ways. So it's really helpful to get alongside them. There's various ways to do it. Netflix currently has a really good program around mindfulness, relaxation, so that that's something that everybody could access. There is, if you were to just Google your area and mood management, you would get courses that are available. So here in Northern Ireland, we've got Aware NI and we've got Stress Control NI. Both of those are really good resources, and the Recovery College, really good resources for learn to understand and manage feelings. And the last one here, daily gratitude. So how we talk to ourselves matters. If you have a strong inner critic, and your day-to-day self-talk is a lot about how you haven't done things well, or how that person maybe didn't think you said the right thing earlier, that will all have an impact on your mood. A simple shift on that is a shift towards gratitude. This doesn't have to be anything big. This isn't things like I saved a life or I learned a new language. It's simple things like I saw a rainbow on the way to work today, or I had a cup of coffee in my favourite mug, or my friend sent me, a funny video that, lifted me a little bit. So what I'd like you to think about of all of these headings, just go through it in your head, 0 to 10. 0 is I'm not doing this at all and I really need to work on it, and 10 is like, no, I'm really acing that. That's a lifestyle pillar that I'm really put a lot of effort into. So green and blue spaces, I'm outdoors quite a lot. I'd probably give myself a 9 for that. Caffeine, if you'd spoken to me a year ago, that would have been a 2, because I probably drink caffeine all day, every day. I've now changed that. I don't have anything past 12 o'clock, and my sleep and my mood is a lot better in the evenings. My phone use, I would say, is probably the one that I need to work on. I always review that, and every now and again I have to come back and say that's crept into my evening, that's crept into me looking at my phone at night, and again, that I know that impacts my sleep and my mood later in the day. So if you go through all of these, rating them, and pick one that you think I can make a change with that, and that change, it's really small, okay? It's not big changes. If it's exercise, it can be, I'm going to take the dog out for 5 minutes. It can be really, really simple. Or green and blue areas, within the month, I'm going to, get out to the local lake or local forest, just one small step. And the final message with lifestyle changes, again, this distinction between motivation and discipline. Motivation is, I'm going to go for a walk later and I can't wait. That is a lovely motivated feeling. You're thinking about what you're going to do and you're feeling good about doing it even before you've done it. Most people who are struggling with their mood will probably be going, I don't feel like doing it. And this is where the word discipline comes in. Discipline means, I don't want to do it, but I think it will make me feel better if I do it. I think it will be a step in the right direction. So if you want, advice and support with any of these things, pop into your local GP surgery and have a chat with us. Thank you.